Hello everyone, come spend the week with me in Prague. To start off, we traveled through Manchester, where we had to go through visa checks as first-time travelers who required visa to travel. Then we boarded our flight with Ryanair. It was a nice experience traveling with Ryanair. We were skeptical at first after watching different reviews on IG, but it was cool. We were received at the airport by Connor from International Students Program. They were kind enough to arrange a bus to pick us up and take us to our hotel. At this point, we're all very excited to be in Prague. You can see my fellow travelers, other students who were opportune to be on this trip. We were expected at the hotel at 3 p.m. That was supposed to be our check-in time. And at this point, we were already considering where to go to if we can have another activity done before 3 p.m. But then we decided to take a chance, go to the hotel.
So if you wanted to go anywhere, do anything, get snacks, you're in a great area for it. Until then, the ride will be about half an hour.
Let me leave you guys to enjoy the view. It's a very beautiful city. At the hotel, we were able to get an early check-in thanks to Connor, who was able to get us an early check-in at Ibis Hotel. Very beautiful hotel, and we're headed off to our rooms. After we had our things unpacked, I had to do a mini room tour for you guys. We had 2 single beds to a room as we roomed 2 to 1. So this my things already unpacked. This is the bathroom. You can see we're already unpacked. It's okay for 2 people. Yeah, the room and the bathroom was okay. And then we had to go get lunch. At this point, we were so confused because we couldn't read the menu. None was in English. Then we had to make do with pictures. We just had to look for things that looked familiar to us. And then we got them at this point. To start off the day, I need to check my itinerary. International Study Program team provided us with an application on our phones which helps us to track our itinerary. So you can see here Monday, these are the activities we have for Monday. We have a company visit to discuss the future of education in Czech Republic versus the UK. Then this is our speaker. But to start off, we have to take some breakfast. Unexpectedly, the breakfasts were really nice. Then we headed off. These are my classmates. After a brief meeting in the morning, we headed off to our first visit. There was a lot of walking involved this Monday morning. Like, we walked a lot. Like, we really did walk. But it gave us an opportunity to explore the city, see the beautiful city. They provided us with tickets which lasted 3 days. So every 3 days it was renewed. And this is us heading off. Like I said, there was a lot of walking involved here, but we enjoyed it. Connor literally yelled Liverpool at every stop to alert us to come down. And here we are at our first meetup. We literally learned a lot here. We're introduced to the history of Czech Republic and life as an international in Czech Republic, since our speaker is also an international in the state.
Czech Republic in all of its glory. Look at the neighbors, Poland, Slovakia, Austria, and Germany. We'll talk
After that, we had some lunch and headed off to our second visit to an AI startup in Prague. Enjoy the city.
Now imagine hundreds of questions, thousands of data bytes, da da da. You have the person next to you, right? You have a twin of your grandma or your dad or your brother or you. So we are creating that platform. We create that platform, you talk to it, you ask questions, and it starts creating a dashboard of your mind. Literally like Google Analytics, but of your mind. That's the visual side of the digital twin. The back side of the digital twin is the stories. Your life, who you are. So imagine talking to this thing. You don't need so much data to actually create what.
We spent few minutes writing some thank you notes for the speakers. One consistent thing I learned from all our company visits today is how welcoming Czech Republic is to startup and businesses. And that concludes our visit for today. We headed back to the hotel and decided to explore the city. After our tour, we decided to have some dinner before going back to the hotel. And guys, I couldn't eat what I ordered. This is a case of picture deceived me. So I ordered some salad, but the cheese was not nice at all. Then we paid and headed back to our hotel. Welcome to scavenger hunt day. But before that, let's have some breakfast for some energy. So as usual, we went out for breakfast at 6:30 a.m. and then we met up a little bit at the lobby for instructions on the scavenger hunts that we'll be having today. So this is our tour guide. She's just giving us some instructions on what we have to do before we head out.
That trick a little bit, and when we meet at the end in the cafe and you are seated, you are drinking something and you have used the bathroom and are happy again, we will have the final part of the scavenger hunt when we will go through how you did, what you learned, and also there will be a little more interactive part of all of this.
Yeah, so at this point we're being shared into different groups and we're allowed to choose our groups, and then we got Dr. Mustafa as well in our group, and we had to break away to read some instructions, and we are team 1. So we got some instructions printed out on venues and activities, things we needed to find, and then we headed off.
Edward Eggs.
And okay, lived here.
Yeah, it says Edward Poe lived here.
Yeah. Okay. Edward.
So some of the activities included finding pictures of things, going to some cafes, and then taking pictures of some of the things we were required to find, and I was responsible for taking the media evidence, like taking the pictures, drawing the things we were asked to find, so that we can have these items presented at the end of the scavenger hunt to show that we actually got to those locations and found the clues. And of course, we had to stop for some coffee and hot chocolates. Guys, at this point, we had been working for 2 hours.
Yeah, an Hard Rock Cafe behind it.
Yes.
On the side of the square, there is a street that you need to get on. Many houses on this little square have symbols on their facades.
Okay, let's go to
Pick the most appropriate one and draw it down.
Most appropriate one? What do
We picked the most appropriate one and I had to draw it down. At this point, the sun was betraying me, like I could hardly see, but I got it done. instruction here was if you don't make it to Charles Bridge before 11 a.m., don't continue. Just go to the next place on the instructions. But we're the only team that made it to Charles Bridge before 11 a.m. So we're able to get to John Lennon Wall, and we left, of course, our footprints. We had to write our names to show that we got there.
Sharon.
Happiness. Sharon. Tony. HY.
Okay, take a picture again.
Jerky is over. Like jerk. The jerky is over.
Okay.
Pronouncing.
Jerky is over. Jerky is over.
Jerky is over. Right? Jerky is over.
One person should do. You're really close.
Jerky is over.
Jerky is over.
Jerky, like jerky.
Okay, sorry.
Jerky.
One last thing.
Okay, what about
How
this
about
one?
this one?
Krzyżownickie náměstí. Oh my god.
And we were the last team to make it to the meetup point. But then we discovered it was because we were the only team that made it across to Charles Bridge. And of course, my team won. So we won the scavenger hunt. Then we headed off to our company visit for the day. At this point, we were all very tired and just wanted to go back to our hotel to sleep. But we already had the engagement for the day and we needed to honor it. So we met with a representative from Deloitte. After our visit from Deloitte and getting some rest, we went out to explore. Of course, we had to explore. Moving on to the next day, Wednesday, started off by checking my itinerary to see what we have for the day. So we have a visit with Credo Ventures. That's a venture capital and IT startup company. And the next visit we had was exploring the Innovation Entrepreneurial Lab, which is at Anglo-American University. And after that, we'll have a guided tour of Prague Castle. I can already feel that today is going to be a very stressful day, but we have to make the best of it. But first of all, let's have some breakfast as usual. We went down for breakfast at 6:30 a.m. and after breakfast went off to the lobby to have our daily meetings before we leave the hotel. After our meeting at Credo Ventures, we headed off to our next meeting, which is at Anglo-American University. And here we are. Had the opportunity to meet a team of young software developers who are working on a product to help make students' life easier, and we exchanged ideas. And then from there we headed off to our next activity, which is a guided tour of Prague Castle. So I'm just going to allow you guys enjoy this without voiceovers from me. Everything here just reminded me of the movies like The Last Kingdom and Ragnar and the rest. Just made everything seem so real. Seeing this and realizing that this is actually people's history, things that happened, made everything real, like it was all real. And this is my favorite view from the castle. Like, I just fell in love with this view, honestly. After the tour, I went out to get some dinner at the mall just by the hotel. They had McDonald's and KFC, so I got some dinner and went back. Moving on to the next day, Thursday. As usual, I start off my day every day by checking my itinerary just to know what time we need to meet up and where we are going to for the day. And today we're going to Ford as well as Skoda. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but yeah, we're going to Ford and Skoda. But as usual, we are required to meet at the lobby by 9:30, so we meet up different times at different days, and today is 9:30 a.m. and breakfast starts at 6:30 a.m. as you can see. So before moving out, go ahead and have some breakfast as usual. So we learned about the history of Ford and then the purpose, because for an organization to keep succeeding, you have to always remember your purpose, your history, and why you started in the first place. So after that, we took some pictures and then we waited a bit for transportation to arrive before we headed off to our next location. After spending some time on the road, we arrived at Skoda. We first went to their showroom and then we had the opportunity of seeing some of the vehicles they had on display. Then we had the opportunity of visiting their manufacturing plant, and at this point we were made to understand that it's just the end of a shift, so some workers are leaving the factory. We got a guided tour and see how the vehicles are being made, and then we went back to the showroom. Welcome to the next day, Friday, 12th of May. This was our last day in Prague, and we started off our day by going to a chocolate factory This is us in the tram, and somehow we ended up being the only ones in the tram, and we're discussing activities that we might like to do after our visits, just as a group, because we haven't had the opportunity to tour the city as a group. My inner child was definitely excited to decorate a chocolate, and it can be seen that my inner child is present at this point. It is safe to say we spent our money here. Yeah, we had to buy some souvenirs, and what's better to buy than chocolates? So we did get a lot of chocolates, and then we headed back to our hotel. After our visit, we went back to the hotel, got some rest, and then we got ready for our dinner, as this was our last day in Prague. And our professors had to sit down with each and every one of us to explain the menu, because guys, at this point no one wanted to order what they could not eat, which still ended up being the case for some of us, but it was a nice night and we had fun. Welcome to the next day, Saturday 13th, our departure date. But first, we have to have some breakfast as usual. So we went down for breakfast at 7 a.m. and then we headed off to the airport. It was quite an emotional ride. Yeah, because Prague really brought us together. Prague helped us make friends. So yeah, it was quite an emotional ride.
So thanks to all, and I was very confused before joining this trip whether I should come with you guys or not, because I'm not from your class, not from your batch. But thanks to all for the warm welcome. You all are so amazing and accepted me. Well, it's a great opportunity for me to meet all of you. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
Second, your cohort, this group is amazing. We really had an amazing time with you guys. Each one of you is a great person on a personal level, and is a good professional, I would say manager from now on, because you do have all the management skills, and you showed that, one, you reflected very well on yourself individually, and two, you reflected very well on the school. All the speakers have thanked us that they got to meet you and they got to have this session, the different sessions that they had with you, because you asked amazing questions, you interacted a lot, you gave them lots of interesting ideas, and they saw what caliber and what level of skills you have. So thank you very much for being so professional and fun, and it was an amazing company, so thank you very much, and hopefully we'll see you around, and I will wish you all the best for your studies, for your future. If you want any academic reference, feel free to, I would say that on behalf of Chin as well, feel free to get in touch with me or with Chin to get your academic reference. If you need any help, professional, academic, also please feel free to contact me. I will be always more than happy to meet you, discuss whatever you want, and I wish you all the best. Cool.
Oh, thank you.